When you run away, you're a coward. And that's a real cowardly act.
Lobby group AfriForum has strongly criticized President Cyril Ramaphosa following comments he made about a group of 49 white Afrikaners who recently resettled in the United States. The group, granted asylum by the US government, cited discrimination and violence in South Africa as reasons for leaving. Speaking at the annual Nampo Harvest Festival near Bothaville in the Free State on Tuesday, Ramaphosa labeled the group's decision to immigrate as a cowardly act. He suggested that the Afrikaners were unwilling to embrace the country's ongoing transformation efforts aimed at addressing the legacy of apartheid, and said, "I think it's a sad moment for them. They may be feeling excited that they left the country, that they've got somebody like President Donald Trump, but in the end, it's a group of South Africans demonstrating that they are not favorably disposed to the changes we are making. That's why they are running away. As South Africans, we are resilient. We don't run away from our problems." The president went further, saying all national groups, black and white, had stayed and faced the country's challenges together, and said when you run away, you are a coward, and that's a real cowardly act. AfriForum, a civil rights group representing mainly Afrikaner interests, responded swiftly and forcefully. CEO Kali Krill called the president's remarks insulting and accused Ramaphosa of deflecting of his administration's own failings, and said instead of insulting those who choose to leave the country, President Ramaphosa should rather take responsibility for his own complicity in the fact that the Afrikaners who want to immigrate. Krill attributed the growing alienation of Afrikaners to what he described as Ramaphosa's refusal to condemn racially charged rhetoric and discriminatory legislation. He cited the president's silence on chants like "Kill the Boer," popularized by the EFF leader Julius Malema, and criticized the signing of controversial laws such as the Basic Education Laws Amendment Bella Act and the Expropriation Act. Legislation, AfriForum argues, undermines the right of minorities and Afrikaans speakers. Although AfriForum has challenged the legality of the "Kill the Boer" chant, the Constitutional Court dismissed the case, ruling it lacked reasonable prospects of success. Krill, speaking to Newsroom Africa, acknowledged that while AfriForum does not endorse terms like white genocide, the concerns driving some Afrikaners to immigrate are legitimate, and said we have a situation in the country where the only category of crime that is called for publicly is the murder of farmers and Afrikaners. He added that the failure of institutions like the Constitutional Court to protect Afrikaners and the president's refusal to publicly condemn incitement to violence have deepened feelings of vulnerability among minority communities. Despite the emigration of some, Krill emphasized AfriForum's commitment to staying in South Africa and working toward a future that includes all people. AfriForum, along with most Afrikaners, is here to stay. We know no other home but Africa. That's what he said. The group reaffirmed its stance that while individuals have the right to seek safety and opportunity abroad, AfriForum remains dedicated to advocating for the rights and dignity of Afrikaners and other minorities within South Africa's borders. Meanwhile, the African National Congress Secretary General Fikile Mbalula says the only way the party can overcome opposition from the Democratic Alliance, a member of the Government of National Unity, is to win the next elections with an outright majority. Speaking at Duma Nokwe Memorial Lecture in Sedibeng on Tuesday, Mbalula said the ANC will not be deterred even as the DA continues to challenge key government policies in court, and said, "Comrades, the misrepresentation of the Expropriation Act is evidence that the beneficiaries of apartheid will not slip. Similarly, those who have taken us to court for advancing Employment Equity Act are working overtime to reverse the gains of our freedom." The DA has challenged both the Expropriation Without Compensation Act and the Employment Equity Amendment Act in court, and has a track record of legal opposition to the ANC policies. In April, the party successfully contested the adoption of a fiscal framework in Parliament, although the ANC had secured the budget with backing from both GNU allies and non-aligned parties such as Action SA and Build One SA. The DA and Freedom Front Plus opposed it. Despite being the second largest party in the GNU, the DA has failed politically to stop key legislation, including the Basic Education Laws Amendment Act and the National Health Insurance Act. Balula said the ANC must secure a decisive electoral mandate to prevent policy gridlock, and said it is clear to us as the ANC that the only way to overcome this strategic setback is to win the elections with an outright majority. However, comrades, we must not just win the elections to manage contradictions, but to ensure radical and rapid socio-economic transformation. He argued that South Africans have already signaled their desire for change, and said our people have said through the ballot that they want radical and accelerated change. As the ANC, we must listen to the masses and not justify the unjustifiable. Acknowledging the party's failure to win more than 50% in the last election, Balula dismissed claims of voter migration and said our people simply decided to stay at home. They did not go to any other political party. If they had, we would have a completely new government in the Republic. He stressed that the ANC remains the country's largest party and will continue to push forward with its legislative agenda, and said that is why, comrades, with that 40%, we will deepen transformation. We will pass laws that deepen the transformation. The Bella Act, the NHI, the Expropriation Act, Employment Equity, and more. Those who are in court to challenge these laws of transformation must gear up for a long battle because we are not going to stop. Balula also invoked the legacy of Duma Nogwe, ANC Secretary General from 1958 to 1969, to call for introspection and reform within the party. Nogwe died in 1978 at the age of 50 and said it is in this sense that we believe Comrade Duma Nogwe gave us an opportunity to reflect and correct ourselves. This self-correction, comrades, is being realized through the process of organizational renewal and rebuilding. We must admit our mistakes and correct them. What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.